fall into an alternate reality that is not the very definition of visionary transformation. Consider how it occurred for Clark Caring, a strange, disquieting, my beloved creation that takes only a couple of to confirm suspicion, unbelievable and acceptable as I find to be. This is the day I learned Jehovah, the creator and sustainer of planet Earth, has been arrested. Stone says Ariel should resign. Austin SPM Senator Ralston Stone Wednesday called on planetary administration Ariel to resign day after berating him during a town hall meeting what he called an abortive strategy state. I simply don't comprehend why we cannot acquire him to give us a genuine opportunity to reverse the course of events, for it is too late. The Harris County Federalist and potential presidential contender said in an interview with state public media, I believe the president should demand to administrate immediate resignation. The administrator has lost trustworthiness with the Senate and House and the people and the Republic of Texas, he said. The moment for action is here. For must stand down in exchange for someone who can cultivate a successful strategy and convey it successfully to the Texas people and to the world. Stone had resisted joining the fray of other Federalists. An official sanction for his remarks Wednesday were the harshest assessment yet for the man considered his party's early front-runner for this presidential nomination. The former Army general has come under attack from some in his own party for voting for the police action 5 years ago, and his current opposition for a deadline for Texas troop withdrawal. He criticized yesterday during a town hall in Texarkana near the demilitarized zone where recent insurgent fighting has threatened to end the 47-year border truce between the two nations. Under your control, there have been abundant mistakes in reasoning that have directed us to where we can, he said. We have a full-fledged insurgency and full-blown sectarian conflict in the States. In a celestial manifestation, the planetary administration rejected some of specific criticisms purely incorrect, said the war sacrament abuse will be a long-lasting course of action. He said he in no way has downplayed the troubles of the I have in no way misled you, he said. I've been very deliberate in my statements, and you will not be able to locate scripture in which I have expressed sanguinity. Word of this amazing event apparently came months before, when a giant clock suddenly materialized in the eastern sky. The world watched in dumbfoundment as the hand climbed to 12 o'clock, then dissolved into a giant head. This head bore a kind of benevolent expression, a countenance the citizens of the planet instantly regarded the face of God, or depending on personal religious beliefs, or rock star, or JFK. Greetings, Earthlings, the giant head intones. I am Ariel IV, a citizen of the seen world meant as heaven. Today, the Trilateral Court of Cosmic Affairs Minister warrant for the arrest of Jehovah, aka Yahweh, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, Allah, Krishna, Zeus, and all, for various and sundry crimes against humanity. How about that? After a few dozen centuries, God's colleagues have got around checking insignificant world on this planet Earth. Seems they don't like what they've found. Wars, rumors of wars, sickness, death, murder, hatred. Jehovah has created a cruel and pain-filled world. When they check the sacred texts compiled by his most beloved creations, they aren't real keen on what they find either. A worldwide flood, a woman turned into a pillar of salt, uncovered in boils, and robbed all he owned as part of a bet. And when they reach the final chapter, they are downright unhinged by his plans for destroying all of creation. Apocalypse. Deities have a responsibility to provide for the needs of the sentient beings they create, Ariel explained. Jehovah has violated that responsibility. Clearly, he has become an irrational and dangerous being. Therefore, the Trilateral Court is holding him administrative segregation until such time as he is compelled to answer his alleged crimes before a jury. Harsh, an earth with no God, unfathomable. How will it function? Who will keep the planet rotating, the sun shining, rain falling, and to paraphrase Ambrose, who will, we ask, to annul the inviolable laws on our behalf, though we infest. Well, it turns out the answer is Ariel 4. Yes, he is assigned the job putting right all that God has done wrong. A tall order, be sure. Ariel quickly discovered that Homo sapiens have a lot of needs, many of which are extreme. Take the Republic of Texas. The American East Coast and Southern California did not get that Texas had become an independent nation. Talk about your impossible alternate realities, and somehow under the watch of Ariel, the Republic of Texas has come into existence. The history book said it began in 1861. A 20th century weapon fell through a black hole into the hand of Sam Houston. The state of Texas redeclared its independence with the United States to quash the Confederacy. Ariel 4 might have put right again, except for the fact that the citizens of the Republic of Texas insisted it was natural reality, unaltered by artificial invention. They're lying, the Eastern SoCal types insisted. Read their minds and you'll know it, but Ariel-4 insisting he'd be able to use his divine abilities to resolve effect an earthly dispute. And then there's the problem of lottery drawings. How can Ariel allow all players to become lotteries without bankruptcy, without bankrupting the lottery? In fact, designed to fund public education. In that particular case, Ariel resolved their public education conflict by out lottery drawing. According to the news archives, he wasn't a very popular god that week. A Harris poll put his popularity rating at 20% in fall. I have learned there are many things a god cannot do. During conclusion of his giant head fireside chats, certainly fair and equitable solution to fund education be taxes. The society fits, the society pays. Of course, taxes are no option because I abolished them in response to an influx of prayer subject. I'm sure that together we'll think of some way to pay education blessings and keep those prayers coming. Kudos to the prophet, for he has written to the sacred text that this God should have a problem common to many: talk too much and do too few. Despite having you let me love you about 100 times, it was still some time before I divined the very significance of the clock. And at first I thought it was literally a sentient being in outer space like Ariel, but then I came to see it of a cinema illusion. The clock is a metaphorical message sent by the inner all to the outer less known. Consider the case of the extraterrestrial insects. The giant cicada stands back, revealing an exoskeletal armored plate. The tint of washed out gray, whirring, rasping voice comes out of membrane on the thorax. First remove the log from your own eye can help your name the speck from his. It says, I drop my drink and the caramel colored liquid leads into the thick wool berber. My heart staggers, caught in a crime, and by a Bible quoting terrestrial. I was just cleaning up, I stutter. The insectoid's tympanum begins to vibrate again, but no, that's not it. The alien is talking through its eyes. Do not be alarmed, it says, eyes have eyes that speak. The creature's name, Belarus Shield. He tells me he is a traveler in inner space who arrived the dead a Sunday afternoon, 19, so to the outer. This is a creative visitation. He's a paraphrased motion picture. Do you not recall the first words, Evolution of Zion, a QCT drama special based on the extremely applauded work print fiction of the same name? I do recall. Haven't seen it as though I say. I read that it is lost in some vault. I believe caught up a copyright issue. Something about Beatles song. But I do remember it fondly. You remember it fondly because you are being of the movies, Beller explains, and of course the movies are you. The epic film is employed to provide the pattern for our manifestation. Earthlings, among the sentients of the normal species to have split personality, living neglected, acknowledged way, metaphorical, and far too obvious and self-aggrandized way in the literal. What your species does not yet realize is that D is not an absolute life form of beyond, nor is he a supernatural creature in inner space or the heaven. He is not restricted by occasion, location, the past is its formation. So what is he? The deed is the underpinning existence. Everywhere else we have travel, reasonings, already. They are understanding the inner and the outer are just one. They live at all times, regardless of number, simultaneously in the It's a little hard to manage on Earth with only 2 feet, and that which is why you should understand have been given great gift and incredibulation. The first earthling spirit light as it is experienced by creature, the rest of the manifesting itself in creation. You are seeing the culture's commune extra-worldly perception concretized, concretely waking world, the dream mesh. It's more like an old really clock air beautiful. How can I have dreamed death, the coon of time, dreamed hometown with cinders? I look at the drowning, the hammer in my hand, I've dreamed death. I'm bringer of death, whose memory drives one to despair. I've done terrible things. No, you've done great things, each marvelous thing, but the destruction. Yes, the deity is also a being of destruction. We must bravely say, bring on the big world, nuclear-based brimstone, lasting, dark, bitter, pursuit, tragedy, Bengal tigers roaming and subdivided to wilderness, moth and consuming minds taking repute and pulpits. The thing is that duration, the blast, senses are barely fit. You did medicate or something. You are far from in total separation, the being powerless, state of a fall, Artian surf, where you are rescued from the burning spacecraft by the hidden assistant. You see, dream about yourselves. The conclusion of time is rebellion, the sarcophagus, flame of torture, dream-bearing ballistic missiles, demonic control, and other tempests of mauve-painted insanity. The it is actually happening. You had Lunar-style land that had stored its pain banks, one of the great cyclones of all time. They always come back spinning and perturbing. Pretty. Precise. Enjoy the beauty of the picture, but also be careful. The vision of time attempts to captivate us with a larger-than-life metaphor that can actually lead to serious literals. Be careful of being charmed by what is impressive, for it's possible that this judgment day perform yet torture and destroy, which is to say, you remember this as sentient being to create, required to live. The old men at the circle have their theory, real-time piece, afraid to share that. I tell you, it's a commercial for television, too, says. Roy shakes his head. I tell you, in spaceship. I laugh, but then see by the solemn his face that he is serious. Really believe in UFOs? We've known about them for years, Roy explains, ever since we've been maintaining one at their wasteland at that clandestine air base that on dried lake bed. Our scientists have been trying to reverse engineer. Looks like they finally did it. Ain't that right, Odie? But Odie doesn't an opinion. He is busy fiddling with the double of small TV he keeps by the cash register. Got it, he says. The screen is your skies. The camera pans down to a brilliant water fort, and Odie's the remote at the set air crack into existence. Was first reported at sunrise over Dairy State News, but it is rapidly dispersing to the country at times volatile consequences. Who switches to a scene of fires and police busying themselves of a tractor trailer half buried in the side of a sheet metal struck. 15 people were this morning at a horse show in a city where a truck driver lost control of a trailer of thoroughbreds and plowed into a horse shed. A man, a Johnson deer cap, appears on it just fills the heavens, 100 across. I don't understand. It's like it's the end of the world, the king of time. How can a guy make a living off the world and it's all come to this? Traveling to the Attitude Adjustment Bureau, Bevo, Roy, assistant driving. I see something in the dashboard, small medallion. Sounds, never noticed that, but Roy says. He turns on to check it. A voice like from the dashboards. You are on Fredericksbad Street on Strange Rest. How about that, Marvel? They're broadcasting our town. I recognize it is the name of a dream I experienced a couple of years back, but now converted into the anonymity second person. You see that they are demolishing the old brick house next to the one is a converted church. This is a house you always liked and you to hope to go on market so you buy or sell. Its destruction is bad. You don't miss being torn down because the house appeared to be in good. Even now, I suppose it looks almost, and the foundation flagstones dance once through the hallway. It was calling the form of this mansion in earlier times, vast and magnificent mansion, where hallways without end upon hall deserted, Lipton baroque embellishment, mahogany niche and plaster, gold Carrara dark glass, obscure illustrations, Nasc column. Then you see that the house is gone. It has been raised ground, nothing lies that you have bought it anyway. Using the site to construct a walking paved path labeled like a game board. This walkway encompasses the old cement walkway of this polished house. The walkway will pass by the side of the old church turned, but it really goes no. It occurs to you that what you as a sort of prank, like a park, really should be open to the public. So you must come up with a way to make mum service to provide to who travel your pathway. Let's see if we can get this. Roy says he reaches the tuning knob. Don't touch it. Roy quick puts both hands back on, sending a cabbie sickening it toward the high shoulder. The publication is similar to your existing bulletin, but with a more. You see a cover that says on the cover that it says Baptist. Someone explains that it was produced by two people from Baptist Church. This is a test product. Explain. Decide to adopt it. On the pathway again, writing to compose opening, he heard the voices of revelation. He heard the excited continue, but he knew to talk about. So he wrote the strange happened, which he understood be accepted fiction. Realized make. You see that you can include some short few of already scripted. It can all be included in a structure that deals with the theme of hearing the voice of God. You even see a lobby card, a medieval painting of a hail son of the deity by parted clouds. You finally see the truth behind your dreams, and that is what will make the difference. You have heard the voice of God. This is a revelation that we're successful actor. This is your destiny. The astounding appearance of the aerial time is big. The Tarrant County Register Executive Right has called all hands to produce special time edition. I arrive at the Attitude Adjustment Boat to find Guy Bureau Chief covering his story of life the same way he covers the smallest like a Nick. The guy is running desk to desk, coffee cup and cigarette, already micromanaging the assignments he's handed minutes before. He is particularly like this morning because he is simultaneously directing feet to send downtown the special editions for special sections day. Title Crossroads to. Alright, what you got for me? So I tell him about my incredible revelation about how I dreamed the sky, rated transmit the deity. Give me 3 inches on the circle L, I'll put it in the rest. Don't get it, I say. I'm telling you, I saw it all in the past, in a dreamy apocalypse. It is as if I heard the deity. I know it sounds insane, but there is the oddity in the sky, or that I dreamed it. A merger of action and Guy looks at me with obvious concern. I blame him. I sound insane. I can't stop myself. Compelled to speak. Strange happened of my incredible revelation, which comes spilling in a tumble of controlled. When I awoke, the clock dreamed myself undated with a feel of nearly peace. It was almost as if I came from the deity, a canary, a coal mine, first detector of brightness and depression and entitlement, civilization, fraudulent performance instead of genuine existing. Fraudulent? What am I saying? I should stop. This is abnormal for me. One, to speak rationally, to keep my nose to the grindstone, mouth shut concerning. I fear my mistake, saying wrong thing, failing to be a perfected being. Why do I persist with my story? I sound crazy and perfect, but I cannot correct myself. An idea. We are civilization. We are civilized. That all too bad willing. I say, violent, pubescent gluttons. We are dramatists without intense or thoughts. Unspeaking, it blazing the word, the biggest dramatist. Oh no, I'm calling you dramatic. I have neglected the signs. The entire production of is assembled in my head. No more. It's all coming out. It's once into the world. An attempt to overcome the pre-rails experience imposed by the contemporary personal awareness that dooms us to assimilate what has happened. The world is nothing less than a message for deed, insisting us to escape and become the truth. To Guy's credit, he doesn't cut me or tell me I'm crazy. He waits until I'm done, then nods thoughtfully, pretending to mull it over. Are you saying God made it happen, or that you made it happen? You actually dreamed, clocked, actually dreamed up into the sky. I don't know was going to happen. Like a prophet I've got, it's tied to an abduction scene I saw last night. Well, there you are. You are a grid. It's just a hallucination. No, the clock is real, and so is the sound system. They could be false memories implanted while you... I know he could be right, but I don't believe in the apocalypse, I insist. Been dreamed since childhood, my vision. I remember one time in particular. I'm standing with my parents on the front porch stoop of our house. I look out at our little town. The houses have been destroyed. All that remains of Duncan are the brick chimneys rise above the smoke-mints of blackened obelisks, fires of destruction burning red and broken hearths. The world of childhood is flash. You know, maybe we'd sell this for P.I.P. was the rapture. Interview someone. Hey, go over to North Hills Mall. See if you find a Christian. Ringo shrugs. And if there are, I could round up a Catholic. Guy ignores the sarcasm. Mark, as for weird things while I'm being, yes, lots can relate to that. We'll catch... Hey Jenny, action from the soccer. The wall again. See paratroopers land outside the time. White eggs on the back of my hand hatch into hungry wolf spiders, which proceed to the flesh from my bones. Do you see now why abandonalism functions? Just recognize the absolute power of the man, particularly a drive movie dream. In this vision, I arrive at a desolate, perhaps abandoned shopping center where recent timers have shown drive-ins on the side of the building, sort of realist-style drive-in theater. But there, these are no. This what apparently last drive-in theater. This was apparently the last drive-in theater, and I'm sad this is shouldn't of the age. Then it occurs to me that I should start my drive-in theater. I'm sure I could, but I realize this is not realistic for our startup capital. The 1950s drive continues. 2 cars or drag race is a real hot rod, a red model. A little deuce like what the Beach Boy might have sung about. The other racer is a black sedan, the same car I saw outside my parents' house in Fort Jessup. So, is this to be a race with death? The 2 cars take off, a cloud of dust and gravel. The black car me abandons, peeling to the right. The red coupe passes close to the parked car, closes control and several times. A terrible accident. It is a terrible accident. The car crumples up like a soft can and tumbles to a stops to a building. I run to the crash scene to run assistance. Exits the wrecked car and runs toward me, apparently, but understandably distraught. Is there anybody else in there? Ask my buddy, he says, choking almost in tears. Overwhelmed by my own narcissism, I slip away to the back roomless alcove. We keep the coffee maker in a refrigerator. He's sitting of the cardboard snack tray, grazing on dishonorably consumed bags of Fritos and Butterfinger to the less and watchful Officer Sloan, the bureau's editorial assistant receptionist. In the last 5 minutes, Charity destroyed about $10 worth of chips and candy. Complains. Snack says we shorted him. Myself paid him out of my own pocket last week. To stop her because I'm consider a degree of journalism something can never seem to remember. I nod back toward the... He been this long? I found him this morning in the Bennigan's parking lot. Pick up a waitress. He said he was doing a story of prostitution in the suburb. I thought he was on the way. Does he look like he's on the wagon? He told me yesterday he messed out all his credit cards buying coach. Linda said one more time she'd leave him. And she'll make him keep Charity too, no doubt. There to pick him up last week while his car was in the shop. Their a dirty diaper of the living room. I want to tell Ruth about mine, but our conversation is unexplored. The parking to the hall. See the smoke through the plate glass. Iron gray plumes riding from the whole blacktop. Customers, kids, and mom and dad, Sunday best are all at the jagged-looking crater, but no reporter situation untenable. Say, did S there isn't in the parking lot? He asks. We noticed, says Chandler, downtown reporter assigned attitude adjustment, but that's breaking. Does that not interest? Of course, but that's a downtown front page. I just cover bureau life. Back page, for instance, I'm busy right now producing 12-15 inches about and who has trains pet parrot to take or enjoy around the roof. Control, please. I've just about had an attitude this. For all this is adjustment. I hate that nick. And the parrot sings too. Sunrise can't be sunrise short of Dallas Sunrise Bulletin. It's a catchy jingle. We gather in crater, a red sports car wheeled into the park. It's Kyle Cobra, assistant edging for the suburb bureau. He had come from downtown to make sure Guy's neurotically trend to full copy. He yells about with us, hands shoved his pockets, peering down into. What's this about? Asks. I also look of the crate, a breeze momentarily away the smoke's forgotten dream. But it is stay my creation, a fireplace log in burnt newspaper. This occurs on. There should be no hill here, yet there it is. And over the top come platoon of ready to take the hill. They are streaming engaged battle, explosions, gun war. I can hardly believe this initiated by the crash of this homemade. Looks like a bomb to me, says Chandler's decided to check out the Guy shoves behind me into the pit. It's a piece of junk. What a store. I want you to go North Hills, get some reaction from the shop. I thought I was supposed to look Christians. Do both. Kill two birds with one stone. Need someone to go up to the Mark. You don't have a clue about what's going on here, do you? This is the conclusion of time. I've seen all this before in... what's that? Kyle asks, cocking toward me. It's what I've been trying to tell. This shouldn't be, and yet it is. Somehow my dreams are being transmitted into strange happenings, into reality that we should decide. This is great, Kyle declares. He turns to Guy. What do you think about of time feature? First person conclusion of time feature. Great enthusiasm. Illustrate publicity stills. He suggests. Be the seat of the abortionists, cry, and Catholics signing up to get 666 tattooed on their. I'm seeing a definite person piece, Kyle says. Will headlock crazed phantasms of a psychotic son. Mark, have you been treated for a mess? What? Haha, just kidding. But make it. Yes, I see, Guy says. A whole spectral special section with interpolate clock. We'll call it a clock in the air. Yes, the title signet book, Kyle remarks. Dr. Libby decided to distribute a copy to each member of the staff. We a picture of him with a clock in the sky beside his. But we need a good hook with personal pathos. Didn't you, full talented girl with a bright and tragic sense of death? Not I say. You have me downtown. Thank you. Ty, believe he won, and don't be so defeated, he says. No rules that says the register can't have one report with a beautiful dead girl. Kyle, you could befriend a spunk homeless person. Then one man found frozen by the side of the road, rain his full dog by his side. Before I can explain that he is still thinking of Ty. For that story too, soldiers coming over the hill. It's the Sunrise Bulletin, Guy says. Back to the bullet bureau. Machine gun fires straight to the front of the strip center. Shower the side in white Venetian plaster plate glass. Inside, huddled behind a wall of Berlin bags that has suddenly appeared in the new. He hands each of us me helmet AK-47. You know, Kyle says, I always knew someday I'd Pulitzer. Just didn't expect it to happen. Don't you think this is all the last? Don't you see something missing from this picture? Right you are, Kyle says. We should design bureau flag. Gunfire tears into the ceiling tile, raining down dust and broke crescent. Kyle taps. You know, this special effects nice essay crossroad time section. Green crossroad in the air, he says. But they're really shooting at us, I say, with real bullets. Don't be frightened. This is no Kyle. You've never been through a newspaper war. We don't have any competition. At least not at the 30% government subsidy. Another round of the ceiling tiles coats us with fine white dust. Kyle says it's not like why don't you all say that? It's exactly the same. The program is stirred by the U.S. Department of Culture. Don't worry, says. The Sunrise bullshit will take this Then he turns to me, his face has changed, his jaw widened, scar stretched across his right cheek. He has become talking G.I. Joe. Enemy planes. The dirt. Guy command a scratchy mechanical tone, giant pulsing dang from his larynx. They been playing hit and run with us all in front, trying to establish a beachhead mid-city, Wellington. But we're going to stop them right here, right now. We're going to kick them in the craw. Then he suddenly is to his feet and removes his helmet. Wait, what am I doing? He asks. I almost got the certificate achievement. His face again returns to normalcy. Guy brings us all back to his office. He has the chair in 3 classroom. He opens his desk and pulled a stack of it. What's this for, Guy? Asks Bessie, the grand writer of. This is Bessie's newspaper job of journalism at age 60. Okay, picture this. It's a Sunday, and you realize math test in Tuesday class, and I've done no. I'm terrible at math, Chandler says. Of course, you're all terrible at math. That's why newspaper. That's a good laugh. But it occurs to you that you still have time to cram Sunday after and ready yourself for the test, and this strategy must have worked. Next thing you know, classroom to receive your round of applause brief overshadows the gunfire. This too is dreams. It is hard to focus because I know to be one of the first to receive this award. This is a problem because wearing a shirt. How did this occur? This is an exact replay of a dream. Flips through certificates. Bessie regales the group with a sort of acceptance speech. The tale of first police. Anyway, the policeman is taking her statement. It doesn't sound right to him. He says, so we're just asleep with this guy? And she says, yes, or something. And the guy says, and the cop says, well, you sleeping with any other guys? And the girl says, oh, only 6 or 7. And he says, well, what are a whore? We are amazed to hear the grandmotherly Bessie utter the word whore. In fact, then appears to notice that I am shirtless. Still, it is only a matter of time. What to do? I try to think of some way to slip out of this, but it seems I am holding a sweaty shirt with an undershirt inside it. The outer shirt is too filthy to put on, but for some reason I decide undershirt was acceptable. So as Guy called names of the certificate, I hastily struggled into the undershirt, and you wouldn't believe it, Bessie continued, but the officer wrote it down like that, as straight as could be. He wrote, asked her if she was a whore. The complainant called me a bastard, started crying. Then we left the resident. He wrote like that. So I wrote just like that. I thought that's just what he was supposed to do. Police report. And then Owen said, Bessie, I thought you were just a nice lady hired, but I guess you're a potty mess. And Bessie, well, just more. I couldn't imagine saying such a thing to me. I said, Owen, what fart talking about? I couldn't imagine what he meant. Then he told me. He started to laugh, but stifled herself. She started to laugh, stifle herself. He said, this isn't a Bessie. We can't have this potty talk. Oh, it was pretty. Chandler agrees. I hated it. They sent him to the Austin. Bessie says it was a good career, but I miss him. The certificates is really nice. It hangs inside my dresser. It's real cheap and stamped with a 14,000 carat seal. I don't know where it came from. I don't specifically dream make it in math class, however. I'm told the dream rather. My therapist and dental psychiatrist attributed the incident of childhood issues, perhaps a sense of inferiority. This is common dream anxiety disorder. What's that? Why, yes, it is a disorder. I diagnosed myself a trip to the Strange Rest Public, where I discovered my troubled self, a decrepit copy of the American Psychiatrist Association's statistic mental disorder. Apparently, only person who is in do-it-yourself psycho features of dream anxiety disorder, aka disorder, frequent associated with artistic ability, personality, pattern of distrustful nation and oversensitivity, schizoid, borderline personality trait. Does that not sound like is the anxiety disorder condition? Turns out I has features from 8 to 10 as psychiatric condition. I don't features one disorder to meet the criteria of diagnosis, but if you put them all together, they add to a condition, which I call postmodern prophet disorder, aka Leach. I will be sending the psychiatrist a psychiatric associate letter requesting that the newly identified it be added to the edition of DSM. Diagnostic criteria for postmodern prophet disorder. Characteristic symptoms: 4 or each present for a portion of time, month period, or less it successfully treated comes to an end. Detachment from subject's own mental processes or body, an outside observer, like an automaton, or as if in restlessness, vigilance, or endling keep, exaggerated startle response, difficulty concentrating or because of anxiety, psychoagitation expressed in pacing, as an inability to sit still, recurrent thought of death, and accompany the belief that subject would be better read. The theme of person inadequacy, guilt, deserved punishment, and death, things of excessive, inappropriate, with diminished ability to think, decisiveness. Obsessional function. For a significant portion of the time, onset of disturbed experience, obsession, which are recurrent, include persistent thought impulses that are intrusive and senseless. Example, recurring and subject attempts or suppress with another thought or are product subjects related to guilty thought, the present or depression. Depressive episode, accompanied by and fatigue, low self-esteem, poor concentration, and feeling-based alien dysfunction. Dream, a robot, extraterrestrial. Example, Leach from the N6th. 2005, renting a house which I share. My way home, my way to crossing the Hewlands, heavy make out cars gliding ahead. I put on the brakes, and I can't see anything, begin honking so other cars I'm here. Then all of a sudden, total find myself in at least stand inside the garage of my rented house. The access code at garage door rises. Its car is here, not inside the house. A part is under. Some relatives are here. So are some friends. Someone explain what has occurred. Actually, a carbon copy of Leach, who was killed the bridge. I don't feel a copy. That is because I have all memories of the exact copy. Then mate and outside, I somehow that of the cars, a world without car. Could this be a carbon copy without real people? So we go outside. We walk outside. Next door's home. They have a swimming pool, but it's in the front. The front to the pool is a 3-wheeled robot pool. This is a troubling sight, for I see the robot as part of a conspiracy to eliminate the original people and replace them with carbon copy. I persuade mate to help put this robot onto its head. We run away, and when I see are watching me through the picture when I'm still laughing. Roommate doesn't get so fun. He tells me this is bad. I have to pay for the anxiety, accompanied ability, brood, obsessive, persecutory delusion, accompanied by sense transgression or some person inadequacy, is accompanied by subjective experience, thought ceasing, distractibility, attention is too easily too important, or lability, rapid shift to anger. The shooting continues. Guy attempts to rally the staff, but they are packed themselves into the break. Bessie is baking a chocolate chip cookie. I quietly slip back door. Find cowboy bevel the moment. Can we get Get out of here, he asks. Those reporters are crazy. They don't know they are being shot with real bullets. Let's go, I say. After where Roy drives cautiously down, the sound of echoing all hear a siren coming from the turn around just in time to see fire truck is about to eat the bevo onto Bedfordless Road. Guy comes round the corner of the shopping center. Go, I shout, but Guy's too fast. He throws himself over the trunk, sliding the back seat. Follow the truck, commands. That's a story in progress. Chasing for trucks is against the law, I say. But Roy's already caught up. He guns 8, the Longhorn rented hood for in time to see the porter outside to enjoy a park garden party. Apparently paper shooting it. Bessie is passing around. Road trip, he says. Good time. We should pick up some beer out of town. Some other two can help us scope a pint spore. And it does feel on a trip to a faraway land, Roy says. North South America night sea journey movie shore of Tripoli. Half travel across the ocean boat, he says. We take it to the city limit. It is proven to be all managed to navigate south toward downtown. We straddle 2 lanes as we approach a trailer that bucket-shaped craft resembling the what this is. He tells this is any submerged princess going to use. Isn't she dead? I can't remember. I do know it was designed so she couldn't sleep travel. He says must be heading in the right. Here's one way, worlds. You are part of on our tour, traveling as you are a nation. The Sloan River flows through a stone canyon which centuries ago had been carved into a city. It is incredible. On the right, you see a set of steps with large pots, perhaps waist height. And it's all carved stone of the canyon. Your son's with you. You direct their attention to this incredible sight, so perfect of the way they would build a set of then you see apparently a stage. At the rear of the stage stand palm trees. The trees block red tropical bird. There are no people and you're a bit apprehensive. Will the locals be friends? You spot him and see he is coming of a building. He is wearing a pith helmet, long khaki short, like a British explorer. You approach him, see a people as this is an article camp. The man is a scientist. With your at the camp, you see that the man and his wife run it. Both are archaeologists, are part of a group of people, a journalist to dock into the expedition, but when it comes time for introductions, the group introduces a scientist too, so you are a common scientist. A group of about 10 children come rushing in, smile and say hi. Realize at this point that your sons are still back in Stranger's Rest. A half a world, it is even, and the group enter the camp and building where 1-page hand of the camp. The expedition, not such sure which to find pens to write on the paper. There's not much to say yet. Decide set to let us in safely. What happened the journey. The next you sit outside, open air at the big azure sky. It will be a bright and sunny day. You realize hot day too. In fact, Jack Bryson went up to the Jeep and tells the temperature will probably rise 20 degrees. It reminds Texas. Comment, need sunblock, but you forgot to pack those. And you forgot to bring a cat. You have your credit cards, but not a single dollar. His outfit in khaki shirt and shorts like you'd seen in South Africa or some other place with British colonial. No problem, sir, he assures officials sound accent and purchase anything in the town. Up at the road, insurance, there is a town. The camp just many buildings. Someone in the camp drives you to the end of buildings that one side of the street. Return trip, you look into the stores, but you don't go away because you haven't any issue. Notice that the business don't shop, perhaps has a V sticker window, perhaps and get me here. Then buy. You stop again at the camp. The situation still resolved. Children, you see your back. One of the children is holding a sort of mummified snake with a small inside. The little snake slithering right up here. That the boy is holding as a reptile. Notice a snake is black with tiny spot or dot. You kick at it, trying to get it to leave, but somehow you are just egg with sand, dry desert sand. Just bury it. Are sure the snake reach into the sand and pull a pad of paper. A boy shoves from behind, are a bit scared, still nervous and worried about the snake, but you don't want him to know this, so you tell the boy he shouldn't push you, you'll hurt. Warn him. He says he is sorry.